guys, welcome to the Nina and Sup show. So today we want to talk about something that we've been waiting for, I think, 17 years to watch our favorite friends back on their set.
Don't get us wrong, we loved the Friends reunion, but there were just a few, I think, kind of strange parts to it too. Like when Lady Gaga and a choir were singing Smelly Cat with Lisa Kudrow. And then when David Schwimmer said the worst part of Friends was shooting with Marcel the monkey. And then they had Malala's roommate on, and she compared Malala to Joey's character. That was definitely shocking. Was not expecting that. And then Justin Bieber in Ross's Sputnik Halloween costume. So yeah, I found these things just a bit weird.
So it opens up with each of the cast members one by one walking onto the set and greeting each other and actually walking through Monica and Rachel's apartment, Joey and Chandler's apartment, and Central Park, of course. And I think just seeing all of that together was just beautiful. Then they go back to wardrobe and the other areas of the set that they've spent so many years on. They also read a lot of lines from the script, like with scenes that have been iconic through the years.
Yeah. And also we cannot forget there is this fashion show that happens with iconic, their iconic outfits from the show. Sups, I have to say, as soon as it started, I just started bawling. I think so many memories come back. I think for anyone who's connected to Friends, right? They just feel like, it was just so emotional. My favorite part of this reunion was also one of the most shocking parts, I think, is when David Schwimmer confesses that he had feelings for Jennifer Aniston
and she did too.
Yes, and she reciprocated. And she goes on to say that it's going to be a shame if the first time we kiss is on national television.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
that was
but Joey said that it's bullshit. So not Joey, sorry, Matt LeBlanc. Matt LeBlanc goes on to say that it's bullshit, but then he says he was joking. But we don't know. I don't know. I was kind of thinking the same thing as Matt.
Yeah, and they thought that the other cast members didn't know, but none of them were really surprised by this revelation.
Surprised. They said there was so much flirting on set.
Mm-hmm. But in a way, it was good that it never really happened because then they wouldn't have had the chemistry that they did on screen. But anyways, what could have, should have, would have, right?
Yeah. What was your favorite part, Sups?
Oh my God, there were so many. But I think where they had Jack and Judy Geller come in, and Janice and Gunther, Richard, even Mr. Heckle.
Yeah, Mr. Heckle, who looked exactly the same.
Exactly, right? Everybody else looks like they aged differently. Let's put it that way.
I would not recognize Gunther if I saw him outside at all. Didn't he look completely different? I was like, this is Gunther.
He did.
But he was cute. He was wearing a little Friends hat or Central Perk hat or something.
What I really liked is when Lisa Kudrow addressed the whole reboot or a movie or something like that. And she made a very valid point to say that, one, it's not her decision, it's the writer's decision. But even to do something like that, they would have to unravel 17 years. And, the stories and how things ended so beautifully in 2004 for each of the characters. And that's something that you do see. There have been a few sitcoms that have been rebooted. And, the way they unravel it and try to connect the old to the reboot, sometimes is a bit of a mismatch. So I really like that they gave that kind of closure to the show so beautifully. But, Nina, I have to say, I have to agree with you that while watching it, I started tearing up, but for many different reasons. I think one was, of course, watching our favorites cast back on after 17 years. But for me, it was the memories associated with that. I remember all of us, you including, watching it in my bedroom back in college. And we were just about to graduate. And I was going to leave and come back to India for good. And for me, it brought all of that up. It was literally an end of an era, a favorite show coming to an end, our college days coming to an end, my time spent as a student in America coming to an end and coming back home after so many years. So I think, it was like this whole mixed bag of feelings, but it was just great.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the creators said. The creators said that we ended each one off, each of the stories off, as that they're ready now for the next phase of their life, which I thought was done really, really well and very tastefully. I think they ended it really at the perfect time, Subs. Just all done so well. They also said that the Monica Chandler romance wasn't something that was planned.
Yeah, it was they fed it off the audience reaction, and I think that's amazing. I mean, this show, they've always put in so much thought, and I think even they didn't talk about it, but I read it back in the day. The whole Joey and Rachel thing, they killed it really quickly because the audience didn't take to it. Can we just talk about our favorite episodes? I know I have a bunch of them, but I think my all-time favorite has to be season 9, episode 2, when Rachel comes back from the hospital with Emma. And Ross is really upset with Joey for proposing and all of that stuff. And Joey tells him, hit me, hit me. And how Ross just ends up getting hurt like all the time, from the way he punches to something or the other goes wrong. I mean, that episode. And of course, Leather Pants and Pivot. They're just the three the most amazing episodes for me.
They're all mentioned in the reunion. But my favorite, and I think even David Schwimmer says it was his favorite, was when Ross and Rachel finally kiss.
And I think that while this is a sitcom and it's all fiction, but there have been so many scenes that I know I can relate to. Where the whole pivot thing may not be physically moving a sofa, but we've moved apartments so many times, and carrying all of this, and you're trying to juggle it, and oh my God, the disasters that have come along with it. So, remember the time you were trying to move your bed from across the street, Nina?
I remember bringing my huge computer up like 4 floors of stairs in college. So no, but I mean, it just brought back so many memories. And I think this is such a feel good episode or reunion to watch, right? I think everyone had so many fond memories. And Matthew Perry actually goes on to say that whenever these guys meet each other in a party or something, they've all shared something so unique in their life that they just end up sitting with that person for the rest of the night.
So one of the things that, stood out for me is when they played the quiz, the iconic quiz. They had Mr. Heckle's voice, and the girls had to guess, and they couldn't get the name. And I was sitting there, I was like, it's Mr. Heckles, it's Mr. Heckles. And it's amazing how, as viewers, I'm sure all of us knew the answers to all of the questions, and these guys were struggling with it. I was kind of laughing.
But I had one point to make here, because they're talking about what Chandler did for a living. But remember, wasn't there one point where Monica learns it and she's like something with data
Reconfiguration and statistical analysis?
See, wasn't that? But in the reunion, he says that nobody really knows. So that was weird.
I think, but she learns it just before he quits his job.
Yeah, she learns it when he's going into advertising. So another interesting element of the reunion was that they had people from all over the world talking about how Friends had affected their life and how Friends had maybe helped them learn English. And it was such a sweet moment. And it was from all over the world, from Germany, from Italy, India, everywhere, right? I almost feel like this couldn't come at a better time, because everyone is obviously down and out, what's happening around the world. And this was just something that was so feel good. I mean, everybody needed this. If we want to talk about casting, the creators were talking about how they struggled with casting Rachel and Chandler. And both of them were actually doing, they were already signed up for different shows, right? At that time. And when Jennifer Aniston started shooting for Friends, she loved the atmosphere so much that she asked to be let go. And the producer over at the other show said that, that show is going nowhere. It's not going to make you a star. So I don't know what that guy's feeling today.
Well, I think someone who's going to be eating crow soon.
I was like, yeah. biggest stars of television, really.
And then, they spoke about how Courtney Cox originally came in to audition for Rachel's part, but she herself thought that she was more of a Monica, and she could not have been more right. So if you guys still haven't watched it and would like to watch it, all the viewers in India can catch it on Z5.
And in the US, you can watch it on HBO Max. Guys, we'd love to hear what your favorite episodes were and what you thought about this reunion. Please do comment below and let us know. Until next time.
Take care.